Hey everybody, ReefGrrl here, and welcome to my channel. This is another problem-solving video. What you see here is the future sump for whenever my display tank arrives. For the time being, it's running as its own system. 265 gallons of open, flowing, turbulent water. 3 of the 4 stock tanks are temporarily holding the contents of my reef. The reef needs light, and I need access. So there are no lids on these 3. But like I said, that's just temporary, and once I have nothing in here that needs light nor access, they'll need lids to control evaporation and humidity. Doing research to see what other people had done showed us pretty quickly that this was going to be tricky. The oval shape meant no corners to rely on, no neat and tidy clips. Anything you did for the edge would have to be flexible. The sheer size of these things meant we wanted something really lightweight, yet also easy to cut to accommodate the shape. And finally, this HDPE material they're made of, yeah, nothing will stick to it. I happened to be in the dollar store one day and I came across the perfect material for this purpose. The only problem? It only came in 18 by 24 inch pieces. So research was on to find out if there was anything available that was bigger, and there was. It's called Coroplast. This stuff is made of 100% plastic. There is no absorbent component anywhere in this product. It comes in 4x8 sheets that are extremely lightweight. It's also really easy to work with, and here I'll give you a bit of a demonstration using a scrap piece. To begin with, unlike some plastics, you can mark this stuff with a Sharpie and it will not smudge. Here I've drawn a curved line to represent what you might run into if you need to cut an edge to fit a stock tank. I put a fresh blade in my little utility knife and it was relatively easy to cut almost right through. I did have to finish it off on the other side to get a clean cut. It doesn't matter if the edge isn't perfectly smooth because it's getting covered up with this stuff. This is insulating pipe wrap like you would use on plumbing, and it's self-adhesive. Because we knew there would be condensation inside the lid, we decided to make sure there was no exposed adhesive on the underside near the water. We stuck it down only on the outside and left the yellow tape in place on the inside to keep the adhesive covered. To start with, we made 2. We cut around the pipes and other stuff that was in the tank, such as the ATO, and also there were finger holes to make it easy to lift them out and move them around. This lid covers what essentially is the return chamber of the sump, and you can see a lot of rocks in here that are curing. This is the only one that stays on all the time because it doesn't need light and I don't generally need access. And I'm sure you noticed how easy this was to remove. The lid on the left will go over the first 100-gallon tank, but right now that tank is holding part of my reef. So I have to wait until everything's out of there before I can start to use it. Not sure yet, but I may cut a hole in it or change the shape of it to accommodate the skimmer if I decide to leave it here. One other thing I should mention is that when cutting these lids, it's a good idea to make them slightly smaller than the very top inside edge of the oval shape of these tanks. The tanks are tapered inwards as they go down. Once you put the pipe wrap foam around them, they really can't go anywhere. I'll show you in a second how well they fit, how easy they are to put back on. So I just took this lid off, and before I put it back on, let me show you the condensation that does form on the underside. Okay, let's get this lid put back on. The finger holes sure come in handy. I line up all of the little cutouts that were made, and one final step is to tilt the far end downwards. The nice thing about these lids is that we can do that. We can adjust the position. If they're slightly tipped down at that end, most of the condensation will run down that way and drip into the tank from there. It seems to be working so far. These lids are working perfectly for what I need. It doesn't matter that they're solid, and in fact, that's what I need to control evaporation and humidity. If I had fish that I was concerned were going to jump out, I'm pretty sure I could adapt this design by adding mesh inserts and still use this basic idea. I just might try to come up with something, but I think that's for another video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, why not give it a thumbs up? Stay safe, everybody.